Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about inflation. Take a look at the image on this slide. $100 billion. Wow. This bill was issued by the Zimbabwe Central Bank in 2008. Being a billionaire sounds like a dream, but when inflation is out of control, a bill like this may not even buy you a bread. So what is inflation? Inflation is a general and ongoing rise in the price level of an entire economy. It's important to make two distinctions here. First, inflation is not just about one thing getting more expensive. That's a change in relative prices. Inflation is when almost everything is trending upward. Second, it must be ongoing. In our standard supply and demand models, a price increase is often a one-time event. Inflation is a sustained climb over time. The most immediate consequence is the decrease in purchasing power. As prices rise, every dollar in your pocket buys fewer goods and services than it did before. We measure this change using the inflation rate, which is simply the percentage change in the price level from one period to the next. When inflation rate is extremely high, we call it hyperinflation. This is an extreme rate of inflation that essentially breaks the economy. Look at the case of Zimbabwe from 2007 to 2009. By November 2008, the monthly inflation rate hit nearly 80 billion percent. To put that in perspective, the prices were doubling almost every single day. The opposite of inflation is deflation. This occurs when there is a severe negative inflation rate. It means that most prices in the economy are actually falling. While lower prices might sound good for consumers, deflation is often a sign of deep economic trouble. For example, during the Great Recession in 2009, the US experienced deflation. As you can see on the right graph, the line dips below zero. This was largely driven by a massive drop in energy prices due to the global recession. Why does inflation happen? We generally look at three main drivers. First is monetary cost. This is when there is a excessive growth in the money supply. It means too many dollars chasing too few goods. Second is demand pull inflation. This happens when consumers have more money to spend. For example, pandemic era, stimulus checks increased the household spending, pulling prices up. Third is cost push inflation. This is driven by supply shocks. During the pandemic, the shortage of computer chips meant few cars could be built. With supply down, the prices for both new and used cars skyrocketed. The United States, the responsibility of managing inflation falls on the Federal Reserve or the Fed. The Fed has a dual mandate, stable prices and maximum employment. The Fed defines stable as a target of 2% annual inflation. They manage this using three main tools. They can raise benchmark interest rates to cool the economy down or reduce them to speed it up. They buy or sell government securities to manage the total money supply. By clearly stating their plans, they influence inflation expectations. If people believe the Fed will keep inflation low, they are less likely to demand massive price or wage increases today. Thank you for watching.